By the time I found out that she was up for adoption, she was dead set on, no, I need to just be realistic about my life and what my future holds.
That's when she came to me and she said, would you be interested in us adopting you? I didn't think that I would have a family again. I didn't think that I would go to college. I didn't think that I would have love. And with that, I just feel like my world is just so much brighter.
Welcome to this week's Angels Garage. And usually I have a script in front of me, but you know it's the Legends season, so therefore we're going to talk with the one and only Linda Vaughn.
Hi.
Hi, sweetie.
Oh, fantastic.
So
now that you're here.
I'm ready
man.
to drop the green flag now.
And we're ready to race
It's
with
racing
you.
time.
We see you in your race suit and
Yeah, I
everything.
thought I'd wear one of the little Hearst outfits with a checkered on it. It's a race interview, so.
This is so
No,
awesome.
I just try to go along with this flow here, and I hope I get good questions. I'm looking forward to it because I've been a little under the weather, so bear with me.
Let's start out with, how did Linda Vaughn become the legend and icon that she is?
A lot of hard work, honey.
you, as the first lady of motorsports, how did this all start?
Well, it started out as Miss Firebird for the Pure Oil Company. I was their model, and I went to Daytona to ride the Big Red Bird. That was official fuel at the time in the 60s. And I met George Hurst and Wally Parks. And when I met them, I saw this girl in that shifter. I thought, oh, that's kind of cool, you know. But she wasn't too nice looking, and I got to watching her. Then the following year, I was back again, and he said, we're having a contest, and I'd like for you to be in my contest. And Curly Joe's just let one go. I'm sorry.
Curly Joe's on the set, her lovely Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah, my gorgeous boy. Anyway, I saw the float and I saw what could be done, and I thought, this would be great. He told me about the contest. I entered it. It says, we're looking for a new Miss Hearst Golden Shifter. She must have really good personality with racing and like the sport and want to travel and have sound teeth. And I said, George, are you looking for a race queen or a racehorse? I entered the contest because I'm a dental hygienist, and I was working in the afternoons after school with the dentist. So I took my mother with me, and we entered the contest. And, of course, a lot of guys and stuff were there, but I wanted to set a good example because I wanted to step up and make something out of that Hearst shifter because I had bought one at Donna's Charlie Speed Shop, $5 down and $5 a week while I was working for the dentist to pay it off because I learned to drive a 57 Chevrolet and it needed a shifter. So that's how that all began. I was already in love with the Hearst shifter. I entered it, 200 girls. It was a tough contest. We went to 3 cities and I won. And They had the big debut in Hollywood. I was so excited. Robert Conrad come to see me from Hawaii Five-0 because I knew him, had a few other friends to show up, and it was so great to be appreciated. And the first race, I was a nervous wreck. Here I am, a Georgia girl in California with all these movie stars, and I'm going to ride down the track at Pomona. I get out there, and it was so full of great people, and they cheered for me, and I just got straighter and did my bow, and I sold a lot of Hearst shifters at that racetrack.
Oh, wow. What a story.
So I entered it, and I won, and I went to the main office, and I got a contract for a year. So the contract of the year, at the end of the year, he renewed it. And this went on about 3 years. And then at the end of that 3rd year, he goes, I'm just going to make you a corporate employee. So I means I got a turkey or a ham every Christmas. But I worked 133 events, and I ran myself into the ground traveling so much. Became so busy and so popular. And we were just booming. We had all the Hearst shifters and the NASCAR cars. We even had some for Indy cars. And, of course, drag racing. Oh, my God, I love low ET and top speed. I love all that. And I like the smell of nitromethane. That's my drug. I like nitromethane. And I'll tell y'all one thing. I fell madly in love with my job, and I worked even harder. So this is 50 years later. I'm still shifting gears.
And that's what's so beautiful. I mean, you go out still, and everybody still loves to see you.
It was wonderful last Sunday at Peterson, and then I'm going to the drag races. I got to go do a semen deal. That's all this week.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's good to be active and to be appreciated.
Oh yeah, my dog goes with me.
She's in high demand.
When you were
Thank you.
Miss Hurst Shifter, and you were
I'm
out
still
there.
Miss Hurst Shifter.
I'm my biggest.
I own the
apology.
title, Miss Hurst Golden Shifter.
There's only one.
There's only one.
one.
What was your biggest moment that you knew you arrived? That you knew in
Oh,
your
that
heart?
first race was absolutely fabulous. But I knew I had really arrived by May. We got to Daytona in February, it was great. But when I got to the Indy 500 and rode around that track with a standing ovation and my mother riding shotgun, I don't want to start crying because it was fabulous.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It sends chills up the
Chills
skin.
up your spine. I cried all the way around the racetrack. But of course, Mother was flirting with James Garner as he drove the car. So
James Gardner,
he
Rockford
drove.
Files.
Yeah, he drove our pace car in '72, and then Marty Robbins in '74, and then James came back a dozen years after that, and we worked together. He was a great friend, and he loved racing.
And you've met all kinds of stars. I mean, everybody
Oh.
knows Linda Vaughn.
Everybody eats, sleeps, drinks, and go to the bathroom the same way. That's how I treat people. Yeah, I've had a lot of wonderful, wonderful family of racers and movie stars, but I just treat everybody like I treat everybody. I don't change any difference, I don't believe in that. So
It must have been.
it's like I run what you brung,
You got that right. A racer at heart.
I am.
Being the first woman of motorsports, you had to be just like people pawing to get to you when you were
Well, I
doing
had
your
good
events.
security, and I was always a class act.
Yes,
I'd wear
you were.
sexy clothes and things, but the ladies are very important to me because I'm a lady, and I told my mother I'd always make her proud. So I really, really worked hard at it. And the ladies along the way, like Richard Petty's wife, Linda, and she always stood up for me when these other ladies were jealous in the beginning. She goes, let her do her job. She is doing a wonderful job, and she brings a lot of class to the sport. And I always remember that. So I wanted to include the ladies in this industry, especially at SEMA, at the trade shows and the car shows. So I dedicated myself to it. I'm married to racing, honey. I am. That's what that Hot Rod magazine says. I'm married to racing, honey. Well, I am.
and you're just so classy.
Thank
and
you,
that's
thank you.
what's unique is that I see people nowadays and they'll show you all their business in one picture, and here you were classy.
Last month, this big jet picks me up at the Orange County Airport, a fabulous G5 jet with a group of people. They flew me up, and this is the Hall of Fame West for NASCAR. I was so excited. I cried all the way back. And then that right there is my wrench. My niece made that.
Oh wow, that is really cool.
But those titles, they bestowed upon me, not I. I was just Miss Hurst.
No, but you really earned them, though.
Oh, God,
it's
yes.
nothing that's
I can
bestowed.
prove that
It's
with the
earned.
blisters on my feet and the knuckles on my feet and my legs get tired. Walking around the pits in high heel shoes all these years, but it works. It's about to kill me now, but if I had it to all do over again, I'd do the same thing again. I really would.
That's
But
wonderful.
I'd be smarter with my money. Because you do some things, you learn a lot. The first time is a mistake, second time stupidity.
That's a good saying.
I really want to do another book, and I want to do more filming. I do. I want to. There's so many stories out there. Mark, you know how the guys are. And everybody's so genuine.
Yeah.
You know, I could go to Mario's house and interview him. We could go all over the world.
The racing
Yeah,
is
it's
like a family
It
unit.
is a family
You know,
unit.
and
It really
everybody
is.
kind
It
of helps
really,
each other
really is.
because it takes a lot to move everything forward.
That's
in the
why
right
I was
direction.
trying to get a blood bank going with Racing Angel because if there's a fire, God forbid if there's a fire, folks, you never want to have not enough blood. And I'm a diabetic, so anything I can do to help the Diabetic Foundation, I do. And,
Well, that's awesome.
and we like to collect blood. And this day and time with the gangs and the fires and the problems that we're having, we need more blood. We need to give and take care of each other. America, everybody's blood is red. I don't believe in racism. I don't believe in that BS that goes around. I treat everyone the same. Whatever color they are, their blood is still the same color as mine.
Ooh, that just gave me
That's just
shivers.
Can you tell me about the charity one more time? Like what?
Oh, Racing Angel. I gave everybody a pocket angel, and I have one for my driver that brought me up here. But these pocket angels are just a little token of my love. I give to every driver before the start of the Indy 500, the Daytona 500, and the drag races. And it's just snowballed. It's the 18th year now.
Wow.
And we do some nice things. And one of the drivers had a bad wreck, and his wife came to me, so we refurbished and got him a wheelchair, things like that.
Oh, wow.
And I love doing it.
We're going to have that information on our site,
Yeah.
so if you'd like to help.
Yeah, and tell them about my book. That would help.
That's what we'll be back to tell them about that. We're going to spend some time on that. And real quickly, I wanted to ask you about what is a good story that you had in an encounter with a celebrity?
I can't tell that.
She can't tell.
There's some stories that
One
we just don't
encounter.
tell.
There's just some things you don't tell. It's best to keep guessing.
That's right. That's right.
There's a lot of wonderful things I did with Paul Newman and the children's fund that he has. Mario and I would go do these children's signs, would bring our pictures and would help raise money. And Paul Newman was one of the greatest friends I've ever had in racing. Wow. And I say racing, not only the star that he was, but is and always will be in our hearts. He was a genuine race car driver. And when he started his racing career, I got a phone call from PLN. And I said, Paul, how are you? He goes, I want you to be my race queen out at the track tomorrow. Would you come? Would I come? I dropped everything. I mean, I couldn't get out there fast enough. And he won that race. I was so thrilled to him to want me to be there to present him a trophy. So I kissed him, my first time I ever kissed him. But only a little bit because I liked his wife and I didn't do it. I didn't do anything I wasn't supposed to do, but I did give him a little kiss.
Class. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's not that I didn't want to. It's just that that's not the thing to do because I respect everybody. So
That's right.
So that's what dreams are made of.
And we're going to be right back with more Linda Vaughn. We're going to have a word from our sponsor.
We went to look for school clothes. And I remember just helping her put on different clothes, and she looked at me and she said, Mommy, I never thought I would have clothes like this. It's not about having clothes or money, but the fact that she was appreciative of it was what meant a lot to me.
Hannah, she had never had a play date with a friend, ever. She'd never had sleepovers, ever. For someone her age to wait that long to have to go.
To watch a kid who never knew what it meant to be safe at home to wanting to be home and be around people that love her. Almost as special as the big things is just the little things.
Angel's Garage, the podcast, is brought to you by My Travel Tray. Life on the go just got easier. And by Haymaker Coffee Company. Grab life by the beans. And by Ford Gum since 1913.
Well, I was going to read a quote from this lovely book, but Ms. Vaughn is so embarrassed. So we're just going to go right into the First Lady of Motorsports, Linda Vaughn. And this book is like a coffee table book. It has your whole life.
Yes, it does. It's got a lot of my life, but I'm working on book number 2.
Oh, so you definitely need to get book number 1. It's coming into the holiday seasons. Let's talk about it. What made you want to tell your story?
Well, I had all good intentions, but if you don't know all about publishers and writers and so forth, there's a lot of work goes into it. I never worked so hard in my life, 2 straight years to get this part done.
Oh, wow.
And then when it was to be debuted, I had a heart attack because my boyfriend had passed away. And I don't think it was edited properly. There was some misspelled words in there, and I was so careful on the rewrite and all that. But you learn from your mistakes. First time's a mistake, second time's stupidity. So I think I've learned a lot. People have come to me and they want to know more about certain drivers. So I've kind of left it up to y'all out there to let me know what y'all want to know about, because I think that's the way you should do your book. I think it continues on because it's there's no age limit to racing and good music and good food. So there's like 5 decades going down here.
Yes,
Lord
right.
have mercy, I hope I live long enough to write book 2 and 3. I said 3 would probably be about Earnhardt.
You shared your growing up with
Yeah.
your upbringing and your family. And
Very humble.
Yes.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very humble beginnings.
And that stayed with you.
Still is.
It is. It's
I
just-
collect all my water bottles. I turn them into the mud. But I'm frugal. I'm that way. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, and I didn't have shoes too much growing up, so I've got about 2,000 pairs of shoes now. That was from, I think, not having what all those girls had in school, but made me appreciate things. So when I first got my
That's
first
right.
dental check, I went and bought 5 pair of shoes.
That's because the dentist was so busy.
Oh boy, he was. Yeah, we had
When you
all
have a
the-
hygienist like Linda
Yeah.
Vaughn there, you kind of,
we
everybody
had
wants to be
all
into
the
that
men
dentist.
in town coming to get their teeth cleaned.
You never had a town with so many clean
That's
teeth
my
in your whole
best
life.
friend, Booper. But along the way, if you make one good friend for life, and Booper was my best friend for life, and I lost her recently, but she and I, we did a lot together. She goes, I hope I'm around when you write that book.
This book, it's you shared just so much.
So many people shared pictures with me, like Mika, Booper's daughter. She found some great pictures of us growing up and doing some of the shows and events that we did. I love this particular picture here. A little girl that's 19 years old painted me an oil painting of Earnhardt and me, and it's hanging in my little den at home.
Wow.
But what an honor. And I just feel the people's love. And y'all write me and let me know what you'd like to hear more of, because I think I got about 100 books left in me. I just hope I live that long.
We are going to leave the address at the end, and it is Linda Vaughn, P.O. Box 9348, South Laguna, California, 92652. This book, again, is a great coffee table piece. It's
Thank you.
just
Just
beautiful.
don't buy it on Amazon.
And it's
'cause we
about
don't
the
make
whole
any money.
history of racing too. So it's you need to have that in your collection if you're into automotive and,
Thank y'all
and
so
you're into
much.
history of racing and the history of cars. This book really means a lot.
Thank you.
It would make a great
Holiday gift.
Christmas gift, holiday gift for somebody,
Girls,
birthday
your
present.
husband needs one.
Yes,
Yes,
they do.
Yeah.
and husbands, don't forget your wives, because
That's right. I
look,
saw
this
a
is
lot to
the
them.
this is the first
Exactly.
lady of motorsports here. So this is a great thing for women that she's done, and you really need to pick this up.
It's a family affair.
Cue the band. I have to ask you, you've been in the industry so long and you've watched it change.
5 generations, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of today's women in this motorsports?
I think we need to get back to basics with our industry. I'm glad Detroit's coming out with muscle, and I think we need more input from the ladies. Like I always did all the colors for George Hurst. He would call me into the meeting rooms in the boardroom actually, and he'd ask me my opinion. Well, women buy cars too,
Yes.
so
That's right.
your input's so valuable.
That's right.
And I love to see someone that appreciates the high performance, not the noisemakers
Right.
or the cars catching on fire on the freeway. And we're talking about American-made with pride cars, and that's what I really, really want to see America get back to. We started our business in the 60s, and I used to say, we are the race. I used to start all my conversations. We are the automobiles. We are the automobile. America is the automobile. And now I have to say it was the automobile, because we need to go back to our roots. I really think that would help all the small businessmen in our country go back to building the quality parts that go in your cars.
Exactly
like a
right.
Hurst shifter, George Hurst guaranteed it for life.
Yeah.
And if anybody ever broke one, he'd make sure they got two. So, but I just think that the first love a boy has, it ain't that girlfriend, it's that car. And that's why I went around the car when my boyfriend got his, because I wanted him to know I'd wax it and polish it, or I'd cook him some fried chicken just so he could teach me how to drive. So it became a love affair with cars, like with the guys. And I was one of the guys, although I wasn't built like one of the guys. But when it
No,
come
you
time
weren't.
for Saturday night to go get the beer, I had the boobs and I had the license. So I got to drive their cars. That's how it all started.
Oh my goodness.
And a 57 Chevrolet, my first kiss in the front seat was a 57 Chevrolet.
Oh goodness.
That's awesome.
But I think the world has got a golden opportunity now to show our creative people in our country. I think it's quality. We need to rebuild our bridges, rebuild our racetracks, rebuild a lot of things, and take care of America first.
Okay, she just made me speechless because you just set it off. That was beautifully put, and it's just beautiful.
I love
beautiful.
America.
Beautiful. I have to ask you, everybody in the industry. We've had so many legends taping, and every time I mention your name, hi, Gene.
Hi, Gene.
Hi, Gene.
I love Gene Winfield. He painted my hot rod. What's that picture of my hot rod?
Oh.
You need to hold that up and show. No, you got the white hot rod.
Oh,
Those
the lovely
postcards,
white
yeah.
hot rod.
Yeah,
And of
that's
course,
by Hearst Olds. But there's Gene Winfield also designed those headlights for me, and Foose built me the hood for the cars. So I used a lot of the ladies in the industry. The woman that cut that grill, she was absolutely a great fabricator and a great medalist. She was an artist, yeah. So I tried to use people that would help us back in return. I went to Budnick. He built the wheels for me because I wanted an affordable car. I don't want a $300,000 car that the American can't afford. I want to drop an American engine in a hot rod, so I named it a sports rod. It's half hot rod and half sports car.
Oh,
And you designed that,
yeah,
right?
I did with this group.
She designed that
worked with me.
car herself.
In the middle of the night, one night, sitting in the garage, I kept looking at my little Ferrari, and I'm going, I want to build a mid-engine hot rod. So I called Brembo, and they thought I was out of my mind at first.
See, what a brain to think that way.
Yeah, but Brembo says, we can build it, we can stop it. And I said, because I want to drop the engine, and I want to have enough torque that you get out of someone's way, but I also want it to be safe. So I went to Borla to the exhaust, I went to Brembo for the brakes, to Vaughn for the windshield. It was a labor of love. I gave birth to a hot rod. It took 9 months to build it. But if I had to do it over again, I'd probably do it again. We got it all apart. We're redoing the car, and I'm bringing it back out.
Oh,
Wow,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Keeping it on the road, that's a piece of
And
automotive history.
what an honor it was, Mark, to work with Carol Shelby on that, because
Oh,
he
my
helped me
gosh.
get it finished, and because some people were stealing parts from us. So he goes at 3 o'clock in the morning, okay, Linder, let's go down there and get that damn hot rod.
That's
So we
right.
brought it up to his place, and we finished the car and made SEMA, and I was real proud to show it at SEMA. I was in the showroom at SEMA.
Wow.
And Tom Glory, who built the Prowler, it cost $496 million to build. All of that work and all involved in that didn't go over $300,000, and that's unheard of.
Wow, yeah.
But if you buy that chassis and put those parts together, you could have a car under $100,000 that would be worth $500,000. So that's why I wanted to build it.
That's what makes her so
Yeah.
beautiful. She's not only beautiful, but she's
Brains.
very knowledgeable
Well, thank
and loves
you.
to build, drive, and just
absolutely.
do it all.
I just wish I were younger so I could do it again.
Yeah.
I ain't through yet, though.
So, Linda, when people write in to get a book, they're doing it to you instead of Amazon?
Oh, yeah, please don't go to Amazon. I'm sorry, but Amazon won't give us any money for our Racing Angel Foundation, and they made a lot of money off of me, but I'm going to sell more books on Amazon. Not anything against Amazon. I just don't buy from Amazon, and I don't sell through Amazon. The publisher did. And people come to me, I bought this book, it was $40, and you're going to charge me $10 to sign it? Well, that $10 I charge to sign it goes to the Racing Angel Foundation. So yes,
see,
the
so it
book's
goes to a
$50.
great cause.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the book's $50 because I have to pay for these books. They don't cut you any slack. The next time I do a book, I'm going to own the publishing.
See, smart.
But I'm real proud of the book, and I'm real privileged to have worked with some good people, and like Gene Winfield and some of the great guys. And I just love all the interviews. And Mario's interview was breathtakingly wonderful. And it was well done, I think. I hope y'all like it.
So,
It made my mama proud because she asked me 2 things I never do. And I said, no, I won't do Playboy and Penthouse. I will make more money with my clothes on.
Good
and
for
I
you.
said, I promise I won't race anymore. I took her to a race, and goodness sake, it scared the heck out of her. So,
Yeah.
but I race every day getting on the freeways in California.
Yeah, good point.
I have some of my coffee.
so if anybody wants to send you some love, and can they go to your social sites and ask?
No, just go to that.
Just go to
Yeah,
and write
right,
you,
right.
and you can send
I
them.
don't do Facebook, and I don't do ordering from the internet. I'm very, very old-fashioned.
And
So,
see, that's what makes her so
That's what makes it
special.
beautiful.
It's just
thank you.
put a stamp
Well,
on
you
it.
go to a
send it
speed shop,
her.
don't you want the real thing?
Yes.
You don't have to order it from some catalog that doesn't, and it's not made in America.
Exactly.
You know, this made in China stuff, I'm sorry, I'm not into it. I'm into
It
putting
really,
pride back into the American cars.
Yeah, it really
We've
kind
got
of
the
devalues the
engineering.
car,
Of
right?
course it
You know,
does.
when your
Yeah.
car doesn't have all the
Yeah.
original parts that it came with, or
Oh,
it doesn't
absolutely.
have,
Well, go look at the
like you say,
auctions.
good quality
Good
parts.
quality,
You know,
yeah.
and that really means something even in the racing because you're putting so much stress on those parts.
Well, you're also taking lives into your own hand. This is a
Yeah.
very dangerous sport that we're in.
That's right.
And you could go to breakfast with them in the morning and have to go to a funeral home at night. And unfortunately, I've had to do that. But we try to build the safest SEMA-approved parts, drag racing approved. I mean, the drag racers has built some of the best clutches, some
That's
of the
right.
best brakes, some of the best parachutes, like God
Scatter
bless Simpson,
shields.
scatter shields,
Yep.
oil pans, so they won't
Yep.
hand grenade. So these are things that we need to let the world know what we make
That's right.
and put the little businessman back to work,
That's right.
non-union.
Said
us.
by Miss Linda Vaughn, Miss Hurst.
I'm
And
That's
gonna
right.
run for governor.
heard here first.
You've got our vote.
Go. And we are so honored to have you on
Thank
here.
you.
And we're going to leave the information at the bottom of our screen.
Well, what about Mark?
And then
You
it
never
is-
asked me a question.
Well, we didn't need to. You could. You took it away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we're not.
No, that was
We're not.
perfect.
We're
I'm-
not.
I'm-
Okay, Mark. I wanna
All
know.
I had to do was sit here and listen to the first lady of motorsports. I'm just geeked today.
Thank you so much. But I'm available for a question if you want to ask me one.
Oh,
Go for it.
go for it.
taking too much
Question.
Of all the things, when I told him that I was going to try and get you, that I heard everything. So you
guys
go ahead
are-
and ask
You guys
something.
are wonderful.
I would ask, what is the best? What's your favorite race that you like? Better than any of all the other races.
What month? Well, the month of February is the Winter Nationals, NHRA, and then Daytona. And then March and so forth and so on, Indy time. I'm always at the Indy 500. So they're not necessarily all my favorites, but they're the ones that I really miss. So long I have a breath left in me, I'm going to go to those. It's hard now. I don't get to go to a lot of them like I used to, but the company's been sold 5 times, and you don't... you can't really go without a job, so I'm on my
Right,
own.
that's right.
And I love the people that book me into their car shows. Like Big Daddy and I did Iola last week. They had 3,600 cars there.
Wow.
That's a
I
lot
had
of
to pick
cars.
out one car. I told them they were giving me a nervous breakdown. How can I pick out one car? You know, but I did find a GTO. It was all original, and oh, was it gorgeous. So I gave a Linda Vaughn award on that one. But it's very difficult, and they're beautiful. And you say, look at this, America is the automobile. 3,600 cars were at this car show. Big Daddy had a line 18 miles long because he was selling shirts. I was giving away pictures because I figured people come to pay to get in the show. I'm going to give them something. So, and I appreciate all of them that brought things, but that's the way to do it now. It's up close and personal. The city only has, well, it's not even a city, the township only has 300 people that live there. And they had 3,600 cars.
That's just
Can
amazing.
you imagine what a crowd that was? It was glorious.
That's beautiful.
And I had a line a mile long, and I hadn't made appearances in 18 months, almost 2 years. And I was very honored and very, very happy to be there.
Everybody
And
wanted
then I
to
went
come
to
out and see Miss
Peterson
Linda Vaughn.
and to Iski's 100th anniversary. That was beautiful. And I asked Iski, I said, to live to be 100, what do you eat for breakfast? He goes, I had pizza with hot sauce this morning. That'd kill me.
One more question. Highest horsepower that you've run?
Ooh, on the Bonneville Salt Flats, I ran that Oldsmobile Aurora instead of track regular, 207. Scared the hell out of me, but we were doing a lot of work with the Oldsmobile. But I still drive a Hearst Oldsmobile. I got a 455 big block, big baby.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then I have a Chevy SS that really gets me there when I need to. And then I call it my Sunday afternoon drive car. Is a black on black Cadillac with a little sparkle in the paint, and
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
CTSV.
Oh, yeah,
I
that'll
just put
get
a
it
new
done.
set of Goodyears on it, if you know what I mean.
Every couple of months.
I have got to say, this has been the quickest episode ever, and I have to thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And
I'm
I
just so amazed.
I'm amazed. My
My
hands are sweating.
hands are-
and me
yeah,
too.
yeah, that's Linda
God
Vaughn.
bless
That's
you
just,
both.
come on.
That's why this is an angel show. It's full of angels.
And
It truly
everybody,
is.
if you want a piece of this angel, all you got to do is just write her at P.O. Box 9348, South Laguna, California, 92652. This book is a coffee table must. It's the holiday season. And as a matter of fact, for the first person that goes on our site as we're airing tonight and puts "I love Linda Vaughn," I'll send you a copy.
Oh, wow.
We're going to wrap this up. Mark, go ahead.
This week on Mark's Minutes, we're going to teach you how to not be a wiener and keep your welds cleaner. So our next tip is all about metal preparation before your welding process starts. You want to make sure you use your weld-through primer on the back side of your pieces that you're making before you weld them to the frame. So the consequences of not taking these steps before you start your processes of welding and finishing is this. Dun, 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 dun. Ugly. The other part is you want to make sure that there's a chemical conversion process that you can use to spray down the inner side of that frame rail and make sure that your rust is stopped in place before you start. You want to make sure all the rust is gone and cleaned up as best as possible. And that's how you build on a budget here on Mark's Minutes.
By the time I found out that she was up for adoption, she was dead set on, no, I need to just be realistic about my life and what my future holds.
That's when she came to me and she said, would you be interested in us adopting you? I didn't think that I would have a family again. I didn't think that I would go to college. I didn't think that I would have love. And with that, I just feel like my world is just so much brighter.